anticipated spring cleaning, tidying a cluttered or messy home can be satisfying, but it can be difficult to know where to start. So for some help with this, we've reached professional organizer Hilda Rogers. Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, Hilda, how do you define, spring cleaning and why it's so important?
Sure. I think what happens is we hibernate kind of through the winter in Canada, and we spend a lot of time indoors. And so when spring comes, it's like this new sort of fresh start that we want to be able to kind of use that opportunity to enjoy our homes more and kind of give it a refresh from the long winter. And so it's a good opportunity to do some decluttering and then cleaning some of those deep cleaning spaces that maybe you don't do on a regular basis that need a little extra attention once a year or so.
How can decluttering our house, kind of help declutter our mind at the same time?
There's a lot of link between mental health and clutter. And so like if your home is cluttered, it's hard to feel productive there, and it can have a lot of impact on if somebody who has depression or anxiety. It becomes overwhelming, and it increases our sense of shame and guilt and all these negative feelings because we have so much in our homes. And so by doing some decluttering, it can actually help you feel lighter and more, positive energy, positive feelings about being in your home, and you can have people over again, and enjoy just spending time doing things that you love in your home without feeling all the negativity.
I know it feels so good once you've done that spring clean and you've decluttered, but like looking around the house, it can be so overwhelming. So what, I guess, tips and tricks do you have for people to make the process of cleaning up easier?
So I think the biggest thing is just not trying to do it all at once. I think we have this sense that, it's spring cleaning, I need to do my entire house all in one weekend. And that's not realistic for most people in the way we live our lives. And so what I really recommend is breaking it down into smaller, manageable, bite-sized pieces. Make a list of the things that you want to do, and then just tackle them one at a time. Do a couple every week or however long, whatever is manageable for your lifestyle, but prioritize smaller chunks of time. You'll end up seeing progress, and you'll be more motivated to continue instead of feeling exhausted and guilty about not doing the rest of it.
Where do you think, Hilda, that is the messiest place in the house?
So that varies for everybody, depending on how you use your home. But two places that I find people struggle with the most, and I do as well, is the kitchen and the entry, because they're just really high traffic areas that we use every day. And it's really easy when you're coming in the door and you're tired and exhausted to just dump everything and think, okay, I'll get back to it later. And then you never do. And once there's a pile, it's easy to keep adding things to a pile. And then it gets overwhelming, and it's a vicious cycle. So trying to stay on top of things in those two spaces in particular is really important for making your daily life easier. So, you can cook in your kitchen instead of being, my counters are cluttered, I can't cook, I need to order takeout, or losing your keys all the time because you can't find them under the stuff in the entry that got dumped the day before. So they're really helpful spaces to stay on top of.
What about, thinking of the mudroom or the front entry, and we have all this winter gear out that here in Saskatchewan we still kind of need. But once we're done with it, how important is it to kind of like swap out those jackets and stuff and create that space?
Super important, especially because those things are usually a lot bigger and bulkier than our summer things. And so it's really important. If you have a space somewhere else in your home where you can pack those away, just throw them in a bin or a basket or something out of the way. Put out your new spring and summer things once you're ready, the weather cooperates. And then it's easier to find everything. And usually our spring and summer things don't take up as much space. And so it feels better to have those things out. And most people tend to enjoy summer and spring more than the winter. So it's nice to just have those things out and ready to go. There might be a little bit of an overlap where you still, you need a warm layer and a light layer because temperatures fluctuate. But once you can finally just put away those winter things for good, it feels so much better.
Well, and I can only imagine, I have a toddler, so for him to see me do this spring clean and grow up seeing it, hopefully it will create good skills for him as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely. Get your kids involved even as early as possible. Like they can learn how to declutter and stay organized and learn how to put things away where they belong. And they're part of your family. So it's important to include them so they grow up knowing this is part of being in a family and living with other people, as I have to do my part and keep up with my things. And so, yeah, you're teaching them life skills. But someday, my kids are in university now, and I'd like to think that they do a little better job with their stuff than they would have if I hadn't taught them those skills along the way.
For sure. Well, I mean, like we mentioned, cleaning a whole home can be overwhelming. I think for myself, I'm going to start with the infamous junk drawer, but where else could people start?
Yeah, junk drawer's a good place because things just get shoved in there, right? And so take some time once in a while and tidy that up and throw away things that you didn't actually need to keep. Other than that, I think closets are a really important one to do, especially if you haven't been through your closet in a while. Spring is a great time to do that because same as like your entry in your mudroom, like you've got all these bulky winter sweaters and heavier things, and being able to, give away some of the ones that you didn't wear this year, because we all have our favorites that we go to all the time. So give some things away to clear some space, and then swap out if you're able to, or even just from one side of the closet to the other, move some of the things that are spring and summer clothes to the front so they're easier to access. It just feels better when you go in and you're looking for something to wear, and you know that what's in there is stuff that you enjoy wearing, and it feels good and it fits you, and you've gone through and decluttered the things that don't fit anymore.
Well, Hilda, some wonderful advice on this first day of spring. We really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Thanks.
Hilda Rogers is a professional organizer, and we reached her in Toronto.